Hey guys, Knuckleduster here with another video, but this time to talk about Diablo 4. Yeah, I know people don't have a positive view on Diablo 4 right now, and I'll get this out of the way because I also think Diablo 4 is trash, but this video isn't to pile on, as you know, there's plenty videos out there doing that. No, my video's about why I thought the game is trash and what I felt would have made like Diablo 4 an awesome game. So one of the things I notice about AAA games these days is the hype and people saying how amazing the game is and how it's 10 out of 10, but once the honeymoon period ends then all of a sudden those same people turn around and trash the game, which I don't understand. Like I saw this with plenty of games and recently with Final Fantasy 16. So at least for me, I thought Diablo 4 was trash since beta, but this is why. So with Diablo 1 and 2, I had a lot of fun with those, and I've had some fond memories playing those games. Diablo 3, on the other hand, it was okay, but it didn't exactly keep me in the game beyond the story for long. But in Diablo 4's case, I felt like one of the missing pieces was progression. Now, I'll explain what I mean by that in a moment, but the way Diablo 4 plays is pretty much how all of them play. And for me, that's nostalgia gaming. And to be honest, if that's what the game was marketed towards, which I believe it is, then I think people would be better off playing Path of Exile in the sequel or Last Epoch or something like that. Personally, I think Path of Exile does nostalgia gaming better on that front, but the Diablo IP really took the action RPG genre to another level back then. So to see in 2023 the same old same was like a step back to me. That's what I felt was missing among other things. Now, I'm not going to say this without giving example. Now, if there was anything Diablo could have taken from any like action RPG type game, it would be Lost Ark. Yes, I said it. Lost Ark. Because Lost Ark as a game has its own issues, but it certainly achieved progression in the action RPG genre. And I say this because when Diablo 4 was in beta, I already felt the game was trash because of its core. Now, what do I mean by core? I mean core as its foundation that the game is built upon. I felt it was like very flawed and broken from the start when I was playing the game. You got like these Lilith statues, right? You go to them, you get more stats, etc., right? You get like 20 of them, and it makes no difference to your damage. So what's the point of stats? Might as well remove them, right? Are there builds saying you need like 300 strength for this build or 120 dex? I don't think so. I only notice more damage when I put on gear with percentage increases, not stats. So right away I felt the game wasn't really playing as it should. So back on this progression thing, as I said earlier, Lost Ark achieved progression in the action RPG genre, and some of the things Diablo 4 could have taken from that is its whole combat system and mechanics. I think that alone would have saved Diablo 4. Because in Diablo 4, the enemies don't really do much but run at you until they die. Even with mobs, all your attacks go through them. There just isn't much impact or fluidity there compared to like Lost Ark. Now, not only that, but Blizzard had to come up with like terrible ways to kill you, like fear, or making walls pop up to block your movement or escape, knocking you down so that you can't get mobbed, so you can get mobbed to death because otherwise you never die. You don't get me started on the like lackluster skills. So back to my opinion, or be more specific, my solution. Lost Ark's combat system and mechanics, not only that, but another thing that Diablo 4 lacks is like class identity. And don't tell me the skills alone is the class identity, because the skills are part of it, but that's not what I mean. So let's like get right into it and look at the differences so that you can see what I mean. Because first, we have the barbarian. So let's look at barbarian and compare that to like the Lost Ark melee classes. Okay, so with the barbarian, while you're leveling up, you're probably using lunging strike, rend, upheaval, leap, death blow, the rallying and war cry shouts, whirlwind, and call of the ancients, right? Now, when you're using these skills, they are cool at first, but let's be honest, you get bored of them really quickly. But you have to use them anyways. All the skills are pretty much the same way, even worse. They are limited. Why is that? When you level up, you have a choice to gain a new skill or upgrade skills you already have, but you can only have like 5 to 6 skills. Why was this part of the design? Would using all your skills make the games too easy? That can't be the reason, since the game is marketed towards casuals, and why not let people use them all and make the difficulty around that? Or would it be too OP no matter what? Because I think you would be overpowered for sure, but people had come up with ridiculously OP builds before. No amount of nerfs or buffs are going to stop it or help. The ultimate goal is to make the game fun, right? You can't save because of consoles either. You have games where you get a lot of skills and a button on the gamepad to flip your buttons to new skills you can use, and are able to flip back and forth at will. So it isn't that. It's the fact that the game is shallow. You can only do so much, and the game isn't built like that. No matter the amount of fixes or seasons will change that for the better. Some people even wanted raiding type content as well, but that's just not possible. The game's core won't allow it. The devs would have to start over. I've heard about Blizzard trying to shake things up in hopes they can save the game and begin a redemption arc of the game, which has become more and more common these days, which isn't a good thing. But I'm gonna be honest about this. I don't think it can be saved without starting over from scratch, or at least a core on up. Nothing you build on a weak foundation is going to save the game. Now, I can talk about each of the other classes in Diablo, but that is pointless. Even now, Blizzard's about to release a new expansion, Vessel of Hatred, I believe, with a new class, Spiritborn. Well, I'm going to say this now. It won't make the game any better. It is doomed. Now let me make some comparisons between Diablo and Lost Ark. So let's look at a Lost Ark warrior melee class. Berserker from Lost Ark is like a night and day difference compared to Barbarian, in my opinion. And you start off with many skills that are for that class and gain more as you level up. The leveling experience is just way better. Now, just looking at the Berserker, the gameplay is way more entertaining, and you also can alter all of your skills just like you do in Diablo. And I can't stress enough that you have a bunch of skills right off the bat, and not just a skill or two. You don't use only 6 skills at a time like in Diablo. So to me, it's like, what's the point of the skill tree if you can only use so little of it at one time? Also, another thing Diablo should have, but just doesn't exist, is a raid. Like a real one. Actual raids. Because I've already said the core of Diablo is flawed. While Lost Ark has a strong core, and no, I'm not telling people to play Lost Ark instead. I'm just comparing the two because Lost Ark, in my opinion, the gameplay mechanics wise, is just the best in this genre. Now, these seasons that Diablo has, changing the loot, adding another class and Vessel of Hatred, I just can't see how this makes Diablo a success unless they're willing to start from scratch. Now, I can go through each class, but again, it's not needed. and Diablo has too few compared to Lost Ark. However, I think what Diablo should have done is take the things from Lost Ark that worked, like the combat mechanics, the raiding and all that. It doesn't need all the grinding and all the pay to win like stuff that is plaguing Lost Ark right now, but actually put in the MMO like aspects into the game. Now, to me, it's strange that Diablo is multiplayer, but really is just single player. At least for me, that's just my experience. Everyone else, a player or not, is just another NPC pretty much when I was playing Diablo. So I think Diablo needs a lot of work on that front. Anyhow, this is my view on Diablo. It's truly my belief that Diablo 4 will never truly succeed. They are, as far as I know, already on their redemption arc, but I don't think they will put or pull a No Man's Sky anytime soon. I hate to say it, but I just can't see it changing for the better without tearing it down and building it back up. But that's a lot more money and resources anyway. That's all I wanted to say for now. If you like this video, please give me a like and hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching. See you next video.